All right. Welcome, everyone. This is the first video in the Green vs. White Challenge series that I just decided to do today. And yeah, here we are. So we are playing some Gargos Vicious Watcher, and we are facing off against Nahiri, Elesh, Norn, and Mangara. And this is going to be interesting. So these decks should be pretty strong. Not going to be CEDH level, but definitely looking to win and not looking to like mess around too much. So I've added in stuff like Crater Hoof Behemoth, Triumph of the Hordes, things like that. Your easy win conditions in green, and I expect similar things out of our white opponents, and probably also a lot of stacks. And Jeff got himself a pretty good turn one there with Mana Crypt, and goes for an Urborg, a card that is legal in every color of deck since it has no mana symbols. Anyway, we're going to get going here, so let's play a Mana Crypt. I did keep a hand that the Mana Crypt makes it good. Without the Mana Crypt, it's a little shaky. So I do hope to keep drawing some lands. Looks like we did catch a land off the top of that forest that we do need. So I think we still need one more land just to get to Gargos. And Gargos is everything in this deck. If Gargos is in, good things are going to happen for you. Welcome everyone, by the way. It's not necessarily arch enemy. I was hoping to do have 2 players on green, 2 players on white, but still free for all. It just so happened to work out that everyone that was available to play right now had mono white decks and didn't have really solid mono green decks put together. So I am representing green today, and it's interesting because I'm a more skilled white player than I am a green player, I think. We're gonna drop in this Garrix Uprising, by the way. But yeah, so green is not my forte. Like, I know how green works just because I play a lot of Magic, but like I wouldn't say that I know all of the like really fine details of someone who plays green like every day, every week kind of thing. So this deck, I made some updates for it. It's based off the framework from like a year and a half ago. So brought in a few updates over the past year or two, but it's still not the most updated, most consolidated version of Gargos out there. It could still use a little bit more fine tuning, but I still think we're going to be in the advantage over the white decks because Gargos is just really good and we can draw a lot of cards. Now, if they gang up on us, it'll be a problem. If a lot of stacks hits the board, that'll also be a problem. But, our deck versus any of these decks individually, I do think we just have a natural advantage because of how much we can ramp and how much we can draw. So I think the onus is on our opponents to have to stop us from doing that. And, sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. Ooh, that's a Karn the Great Creator that's going to slow us down so much. So there's the stacks. That will make our Mana Crypt awkward and terrible. And then they're just going to shoot it. Mana Crypt down. Yay. Jack says it's Mirrorverse where I'm playing the green deck and everyone else playing the white. Yeah, it's just a matter of me filling since we didn't have any green players, which is surprising. But I guess, given like my fan base, my followers, I do like white. I play a lot of white. So my fan base consists of a lot of players who like to play white. So that's just how it is. But anyway, that does hurt us quite a bit. And this hand is much less good without that Mana Crypt. But it doesn't look like anyone else is off to the races either, so maybe we'll actually be in for some fair magic, kind of, sort of, with this Karn the Great Creator running around. So what I want to do with this series, one, I want to make this a series, first and foremost. Mark of Asylum coming in for opponent, but I want to get a bunch of games going. So I want to play a bunch of games. We're not going to do those all tonight. Kind of make this a continuing thing and also gather some stats, but also have players switch decks. So like I'm playing green right now. I think the fact that just like I play a lot of Magic means that, I get a few extra percentage points in my favor when it comes to like win percentages and stuff, just because I play a lot. So like, it'll be interesting to have me switch sides and see how that affects things too. If we can get some really good green players in here, and I bring one of the best mono white decks that I can bring. Haven't decided what that is yet, but We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And the other thing too is like a lot of the decks we play on camera, for many people, myself included, it's a lot of like first time builds. I also want to get to the point where we can get to some stuff that's like people have been playing it for a while, it's well tuned, and it's really running on all cylinders, especially with the white decks. Like I know what the green decks can do. Generally, it's going to be like near infinite mana, cast your entire library when the green deck works. But, you know, I'm really interested in what the white decks can do against that sort of pressure from the green decks when you have skilled pilots with really refined deck lists bringing, you know, their best mono white game to the table. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Mark of Asylum shuts down fight mechanics. Ooh, that's bad. Yeah, that is bad. All right. Not a great start for the green deck. The white deck's coming out strong. Sean's deck is full of board wipes, though. So, like, at some point, there might be an Hour Revelation. And so for us, I think it's just going to be like make every land drop, I think is really where we need to be. Play this forest. What's this say? When it enters the battlefield, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Already missed that. Creatures have trample. Whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Yeah, we still got a ways to go before that's going to be a thing. I don't think it makes sense to really try and get our Hydras down. Does it make sense to go for Swifties if that's on the table? Yeah, that's kind of the problem. That is the threat right now. Yeah, I guess we play the boots. The question is whether like a Hour of Revelation type thing is going to happen. When it will happen. Be efficient with our mana. So we'll pass like that. Hello, Cassiel. How am I? I'm a little tired today. I've had a headache all day, but that's okay. We're going to stream for a little while. We'll have some fun. Maybe that'll make it go away. Hate really is powerful if you know what type of deck you're facing. Yeah, that is a big thing. So, like, in all the CEDH I've played, if you know which hate bears you need ahead of time, it's a really big deal. It's really, really helpful. And with, I haven't played CDH since Commander Legends, really. So I haven't seen a lot of like the Hull Breacher and Opposition Agent meta yet, but I'll dive back into that at some point. But prior to that, things were really homogenized that like you can count on Thassa's Oracle. The two things you need to stop are like Thassa's Oracle, Ad Nauseum, and like Dockside Extortionist are what you're really worried about. Hushbringer stops two of those, and Rule of Law generally going to be pretty good against the Ad Naus. So like Rule of Law also really good against Thassa's Oracle. So you know when you know that going in and everyone's kind of playing the same stuff, then it's really, really helpful. Makes it really easy to plan. Here comes an Ugin, so mono white planeswalkers coming in. Elesh Norn actually going to give us a run for our money here. Everyone else is going to have to pitch in, but that's still going to be like, while they have to deal with that, will be our opportunity to get into this game, but we are short on lands. I would love to catch a Cultivate off the top. I did think about mulliganing the Mana Crypt hand too for this reason. They're going to go card advantage mode with the Ugin. OA and HB. I don't know what those are. Oh, Opposition Agent Hull Breacher. Yeah. I'm following now. Like I said, headache all day. A little bit slow on the uptake on a few things right now. What do I think about Rograk and Arden? Very good. I was testing it in CEDH. My build isn't quite there for CEDH yet. Not saying it can't get there at some point. More testing needed, but anything less than CEDH, I think you're going to have a pretty good time. Arden is very strong. Rograk being in play early is really strong. Turn on all your Springleaf Drum type of fast mana. Anything that cares about your commander being in play. What was that card? Like Deflecting Swat gets really good with Rograk. Yeah, they are a very solid combination of cards. The only thing I worry about, I haven't played them much in like a more standard commander setting, what their late game looks like. If board wipes start flying, they might slow down a bit, but definitely going to have a really good early game. Mangara's in play, by the way. Opponent's prepared to start drawing some cards. Really love a Cultivate. Cultivate would be nice. If not, I might just be on like Protean Hydra for 2. Seems underwhelming. There's a land. Land is a start. Mosswart Bridge. Hopefully we get rid of all the things we don't need right here, and that'll bring us into like Cultivates and Kodama's Reaches and stuff like that. Emerald Medallion was cool. Well, we missed the Cultivate. Sadness. Guess that's going to be Triumph of the Hordes, because that's a real Magic card. We casting the Protean Hydra? Man, it really doesn't seem worth it, but if damage would be dealt, yeah, we can start messing with that. Let's get something going. Does that many prevent that many? So we need to find a 1/1 that we can swing into it. I don't know. Maybe it's not worth it. Sean plays board wipes. Yeah, I'm going to hold back. I know Sean plays board wipes, and he will look to wipe the board at some point here, so we'll see. We'll see how this plan. This may not work at all. Who knows? Champ maybe off to too fast of a start with too nasty of stuff in play. I don't know. Can we catch him? It's a question. It's a question. Cryptic Caves, huh? A little bit less good than some of the other draw lands that have come out, I think. Merry Christmas to me. Thank you, Bar Cohen. Thran Dynamo. Yeah, Champ's looking pretty good right here. Low on cards, though. You blow his stuff up. That is Mono White's weakness. They do not get to draw. They do not get to draw. Aura of Silence. Gross. Gonna trigger the Mangara. Yeah, I might have got too greedy on my opening hand. One of the problems with this deck, and this is just like a problem with my particular build of it, a lot of my stuff kind of starts on turn 3. I didn't have enough 1 and 2 mana plays in the deck. I've upped the count a little bit. This is where we're at right now. 8 and 9, which is still a little bit low for what you probably really want in this deck if you're really trying to make it like come out swinging hard. But there's so many good 3-drops for the deck that, you know, any of the things that gets you like 3 extra mana, Somberwald Sage, Basalt Monolith, all that kind of stuff, any of the creatures that tap for 3, really, really good. Anyway, yeah, welcome to some of the people that have joined since the stream has started. So this is a new series that I am looking to do, and what I want to do is I want to keep some stats, like some really base level stats, not going to go too wild, but I want to get a feel on what it looks like when you run a bunch of white decks versus a bunch of green decks, and the power level should be fairly high. Like, you're not looking to sacrifice too much on power. It's not about I don't want to say it's not about fun, but it's not about like just being very casual, and like people are going to have to deal with the fact that like green decks can do really powerful things, right? So the white decks need to find a way to deal with that and then find a way to win themselves. I guess is the best way to put it. And, you know, I just want to see what happens over the course of a number of games. See what happens if we get different people in with different decks, different pilots. Having people switch around, like I talked about earlier, having myself switch to a white deck at some point because I'm very skilled at white. I'm less skilled at like building and piloting a green deck because I just don't do it as often. But I think it'll just be interesting to see what kind of data comes out of this and see what sort of stuff happens. Like Champ got off to a mana crypt start, and maybe that's the thing that white needs. Maybe white just like needs to be off to that mana crypt start every game to really kind of shut down what the green deck does. Now, that's an expensive thing to do if you're a paper player. And that kind of sucks. Like you can't do that every time, even if you have Enlightened Tutor. Like it's still just hard to do that. But it's interesting. It's still interesting. So opponent gets themselves a Weathered Wayfarer. I would love a Weathered Wayfarer. We're on 4 mana. Thought Vessel isn't going to help us at all, so that's like not the best. We could get 3 on the Protean Hydra. How big is this thing? It's a 2/5. Thought Vessel, not the most helpful. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Really wanted that Cultivate. I mean, someone's probably going to try and deal with one of these eventually, so... God, that's a 9? Ugh, gross. I guess we play it. Oh, and it costs a whole bunch extra. Yeah, well, I guess that's what we're doing this turn. We're kind of going on the slow plan right now. Unusual for the green deck, but here we are. Banana, you want to get in on the green-white games? Absolutely. We'll talk about it in chat. I don't know how many I'm doing tonight. We'll see. We'll kind of feel how this goes. If Champ finds a win condition really soon, it's probably an issue for us, and we might just be on to game 2. But if we get staxed into oblivion and can't do anything and the game goes really long, I don't know. We'll feel it out. But there will be more of these in the future. This is something I want to run for a little while. Got a few people on Twitter that are interested also that might do some paper games with this as well, which will be a headache just because I'm going to have to rebuild some stuff in paper, and that always takes a really long time. It takes so long to manage paper decks. One of the things I really like about Magic Online, you can do everything. You can build a deck in like 30 minutes. Is so much faster than having to dig through boxes and figure out where stuff went. Then you got to sleeve it all up afterwards. All takes time. There's the Elesh Norn. Yep. So a bunch of stuff getting crushed. What up, Pro Gamer? It is indeed card draw on the Mangara, but yes, as you mentioned, other colors card draw is better. I was having a discussion with someone today on Twitter, and they just created a cycle of cards themselves. It was basically just like 4 creatures in each color that has, when it hits an opponent, draw a card. And, as we started looking at it, it's basically like the only color that would actually want that card and probably use it is white, because the other 3 colors in there, blue didn't have one for this exercise. The other 3 colors already have stuff that draws cards more efficiently than I need to attack with this creature and it'll draw me 1 card. So as a card draw source, like, you just wouldn't use it. Champ doing some damage right there. He's got some stuff in play. People are going to need to answer him. Grimoire Skyclave Ravager. I don't even know who that is. I gotta look that one up. Ooh. Copies in Ameria with a Thespian stage. If they ever get to 7 planes, that's a lot of reanimation. Path to Exile on the Elesh Norn. Yep, that goes down. They could start attacking some of the Planeswalkers if they want. That would be ideal. There's a Sarah Ascendant. Ooh. Sarah Ascendant can clean out some Planeswalkers. He's a counter commander. Should make it for my next vid. Won't have time. I'm still on November decks, and it's nearly January. Luckily, there aren't too many. There's only like 4 for November, and I think I've got 4 or 5 for December, so I can get caught up in the next like 2 weeks here. Oh, been looking forward to getting caught up for so long, and I'm so close, but just gotta make a few more videos, and we'll be there. And then we'll be in January, and it's gonna be a great feeling. Then I can kind of just do whatever I feel like doing, and that's a lovely feeling. All right, so we got some attacks going into the Ugin. Yeah, that seems like a pretty good idea. This is going to be a block. Yep. Going to give up on a Spirit, and that'll give him some card draw. Actually, yeah, Ugin is a little bit of card draw. It's not the most efficient card draw, but the fact that it's cost reduction, removal, and a little bit of card draw means that it just does a lot. So that's all good stuff. There's a forest. What's that put us on? 5? We're on 5 green mana right now. We can get a Colonian Hydra. That's not awful. Yeah, let's get a Colonian Hydra. Anything that can immediately shoot it, Ugin can immediately shoot it. But then there's also the Serra Ascendant, so they need to like worry about both of those. Do we just try... You know what, though? We draw a card. Yeah, we're going to draw cards if this Hydra's in play. So I think it's worth it even if we lose it. We just really need to get to that 6 land for Gargos. That's basically the only thing that matters. We draw a land, or we draw a card. It's a Mana Gorger Hydra. Not the land we were looking for, but Mana Gorger is pretty cool. Can get big in a hurry. First mono green deck post Kaldheim should be Vorinclex Super Friends. Oh god, that sounds so nasty. Vorinclex is such a nasty card. I used to play with it a lot back in the day because, like, I never really realized just how savage it actually is, but it is very savage. Now, it only ever survived like 25% of the time. Someone would immediately shoot it whenever you play it, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. But yeah, it's pretty nasty. Do I think a white card that could efficiently produce clue tokens would be good for white card draw? Yeah. So, one of the things that I think about sometimes is white's card draw is so bad right now that anything that's like any modicum of efficient or repeatable would be pretty good and you would play. A card I'm thinking about is like Ongoing Investigation or something like that. It's a green card, and I gotta look up the exact wording. It's been a minute, but something like that I think would be very solid. Let me get the actual wording. Or it's a blue card. Sorry, it's a blue card with a green activation. I messed that up. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, investigate, and then you can pay a green, 1 and a green, exile a card from your card, exile a card from your graveyard, investigate, gain 2 life. Something like that would be solid for white. Maybe you could power it up just a little bit, like whenever a creature hits an opponent, investigate type of thing. That still makes it like less good than Coastal Piracy and any of those blue effects that say whenever a creature hits, draw. There's a couple green ones like that too. But yeah, I think because you still have to pay for everything that it's hitting, but it gives you the option of like, it's nice having the clue token there because you don't have to pay right on the spot. So like one of the problems with Mentor of the Meek is that because you have to make that decision right when you cast the card, early in the game it's not great because you don't have that mana. Where later in the game you might have that mana and it gets much better. So kind of tricky that way. But opponent does use the Ugin to shoot the Serra Ascendant, so that goes down. They get themselves a Conqueror's Flail, really strong card. Can't interact during their turn. Also a Stonehewer Giant coming in. I'd imagine this is going to be like a Helm of the Host, Blade of Selves type of thing, because both of those are really good on Elesh Norn. Someone asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I basically just said mono white Waves of Aggression, mono white Rhystic Study, mono white Mystic Remora. Not gonna happen, but man, that would be sweet. And like this series that I'm doing right here is kind of born out of the fact that like I like him, Ari Nie, and I chat with him a lot. I don't think he likes me that much, but I like him, but I kind of disagree with some of the directional things that he has said about White. Like it's been a lot of like White doesn't get to do this, it doesn't get to do this, but he hasn't given us a lot in the sense of like, well, if we can't do all this stuff, give us something new that we can do. Now I get it's kind of weird because like he can't talk about new cards before they're spoiled kind of thing, but uh it just feels like he's always saying no, and there's never like, yeah, we can do that. Just like I feel like I want to hear a yes at some point, and I get that you can't just say yes to like whatever whims people on Twitter have, but I do feel like he is overly narrow on what his view of White should be, and I disagree with that. I don't think it should be as narrow as it is on certain things. One of the big ones, he had a thing about reanimation a couple weeks ago, and the bullet points were essentially White's reanimation can hit any permanents, it's an or, so any of these three, or it's an or clause. So it can reanimate small things, or it can reanimate any permanent, or it can do other wacky stuff. Basically saying Zombify isn't really a White card anymore, which I disagree with. I think Zombify could be a White card. Miraculous Recovery is a wonderful White reanimation spell. I think Rise of the Dark Realms in White with some sort of like White flavor to it could be a White card, but based on what he thinks, he sort of disagrees with that. And why I feel weird about it is like, I'm looking at my Angel Reanimator deck, and I look at all the reanimation spells in it, and like, I think the newest one is like 5 years old and like Amaria Shepherd. But it's a weird feeling when you look at a deck and you're like, well, the reanimation for this deck isn't going to get any better, right? The best reanimation for this deck has already been printed because of his view on what White reanimation should be, and that's just not a feeling that I like. I don't love it. Don't love it. Whenever it attacks, we double the number of counters on it. It has trample. Can we attack past all of this stuff? It'll become an 8/8. They would have to trade some stuff into it, which probably isn't the end of the world. We can pump it up 1 if we really need to. Man, I would love to get that Karn off the battlefield. What's the minus on that? It's a 3? He's not trading that. He might trade 2 of those. Would he trade everything, or would he just let 1 go? Yeah, let's just roll and see what happens. Maybe we can, like, eat up a bunch of his stuff. We want to get rid of Karn. So we're going to start working on that. Double the number of counters on the Hydra. Yep. It's an 8/8. It's got trample. I mean, he could just not block and, like, Karn would still be fine. He's going to throw some stuff in front. All right, so he's going to go for Exaxes, and that being the case, we're going to Ranger's Guile. Should be a nice little blowout. It's a 9/9. We kill a bunch of stuff. I guess he gets some card draw out of it. Is what it is. But we still have a Hydra. We're going to play the Mana Gorger Hydra. Mangara is going to draw a card. Kristen Amaria Shepherd's in the house. I love Amaria Shepherd too. Sad to say, white reanimation, not getting any better than a Maria Shepherd, based on what Ari has to say. Makes me super sad. Makes me super sad. All right, we're going to pass like that. Kristen says, what frustrates me is he moves the goalposts every time you're looking to be gaining ground and then changes them again next time he posts. Yeah, I get that feeling too. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like he hasn't been as receptive to things as I hoped he would be. And you know, they keep promising like strong white cards, and sure, we get some, but they're not like problem solving white cards either. And by problem solving, I really mean kind of like your ramp, your draw, your tutors, the things that other colors all do pretty well at this point. What's this? Heliod's Punishment? 4 task counters on it. Can't attack or block. Loses all abilities. Gross. Remove a task counter. Then if it had no task counters on it, destroy it? What? I'm confused. I don't even know what this thing does. Is this good? Does this do things? Creates a core token. Yeah, like new Miraculous Recovery would be cool. What I would want is like Miraculous Recovery for 2 creatures. Make it like 6 mana or something. Would be sweet. It wouldn't be like game breaking in any sense. It would be a cool, fun card. Nothing that's gonna like be wild. More squirrel tokens or more squirrel cards in the next set. I don't know. That one squirrel I was looking at seems kind of ridiculous. That thing seems insane. Too much text on one card, it feels like. Maybe. Did we draw a card at the end step? Oh, must have been the Heroic Intervention. He's going to crack an Inventor's Fair. Let's see what he's going to get. Yeah, the Mythics in... Oh, that's the Cormus Bell. Yeah, no one wants that. We are a turn away from death here. Oh, he just untapped. Unless someone can pop that land, this is gonna be good game. Actually, he may not have enough mana to do both. Because Elesh Norn's gonna be on 9. Still not terribly far away, though. Is there doubled mana from something? Where's all this mana coming from? Yeah, there's an Elesh Norn. I see 1, 2, 3 mana available. Uh-oh. He's got this thing. Ooh, he can cast it. Yep. GG. Good game. Unless someone's stopping this. Sean's going to draw a card. Here comes the Cormus Bell. Yep. I mean, I guess there's still the issue of, like, if we can get rid of this Heliod's Punishment somehow. I don't know how. But if we could, this still... Oh, we can't attack with it. This would get bigger. Well, this one's still getting bigger. But now opponents can't cast stuff? Yeah, we'll try another one. This is mostly a bad keep on my part, honestly. I knew the Mana Crypt hand was kind of risky, and if something happened, it was not going to be great, so I probably should have just mulliganed, but here's what it is. There's a win for white. Mana Crypt start for them, so fast mana start, but they did stop our fast mana start, and that's a pretty big deal. That will That's the type of thing that will, in any game you're playing, do really good stuff for you. Still like Fate's Reward? Fate's Reward's a cool card. A little pricey, though. 4 mana. Kind of a lot. Makes it hard to combo with stuff. Just it has to be later in the game. You can't do it early. I don't always use it. It's got some weird timing stuff, too. It definitely has a home somewhere, but it's not a card that I use all the time. But yeah, the mythics in Commander Legends were kind of trash. The rares in Commander Legends were solid, though. And like to some degree, it's like, well, that's not the worst thing, because if they're rares, they're going to be cheaper just by virtue of there being more of them, which is probably a good thing. Like Mangara being a mythic in, what was that, M21? Let's see what the price tag of Mangara is. $7. I mean, could be better, could be worse, but you know, things being a rare in a mass-produced set, gonna keep them much cheaper for a lot longer than being a mythic. So there is something to say about that. But yes, the mythics were definitely disappointing. You know, I'd rather have cool mythics in that slot rather than worry about the financial aspect of it, and just give us cool white cards. You made a vehicle deck, and somehow you won a game of CEDH. Proud of you? Yeah. So one, nice job. That's a cool thing to do. Two, that can happen, especially if there's like stacks involved. Once stacks starts coming down, just having a lot of creatures is a good place to be. And that's not what CEDH decks do. It's all like 1/1s and 2/2s. So if you have like a 6/6 with trample, it seems giant by comparison. And generally, you can just like chip people away and do that whole kind of thing at a CEDH table. Like CEDH decks are not prepared to play against non-CEDH decks generally. So if you can stop their combo and then just kind of do your thing, you're going to be in great shape. Kristen also says, I think what winds me up the most is that other colors get stuff because it's cool or flavorful, but white can't have stuff just because it's flavorful. Yeah, I agree, right? Like, Angel Reanimation is flavorful and a white thing that used to exist, and now that doesn't get to exist anymore, and that's annoying. And, you know, you can apply that to whatever other mechanic you're thinking about. Uvenwald Mysteries would be a good white card. I gotta look that one up. I do think that's a cool card if I'm remembering right. Uvenwald Mysteries. Oh yeah, that was the one I was trying to think of too. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, investigate, and then you can sacrifice a clue to make a token. Yeah, like that's another cool card that could be white, but you know, green gets all the card draw ever, so that's just how that goes. So one thing I do want to keep track of in the stats that I'm gonna try to keep for these games is critical mistakes. And for me, I think the critical mistake was just keeping that opening hand. Like I had a bad feeling about it to begin with, and then all of my worst nightmares came true. So that all happened. Ada says, I wish they'd put out an updated Color Pie document. Yeah, myself, and I think Kristen's also talked about it on Twitter too, that we really do need an updated Color Pie document, because I know for a fact that green has moved from tertiary to secondary in green, or I know that haste has moved from tertiary to secondary in green, and there's been other changes too. So the last one they did was 2017, which is a little while ago now. Lots happened since then, and things have changed. Seraphic Greatsword should have been an uncommon. Yeah. See, like if it was an uncommon, no one would complain, right? Because you're not trying to like market it as like this is supposed to be the big splashy card. You just be like, oh, I guess I use this in a draft sometimes, then I don't care about it. Ran over Tiger Shadow with a local Honda. I don't even know what that means. Oh, vehicles. Ha! I got it now. Yeah, Yuriko's pretty good. Pretty strong deck. Robert says, I've come to the same conclusion as a mostly CEDH player and a non-CEDH mana. 1 CMC cantrips and a braid don't cut it when you're staring down Sun Titans. Or 3 Sun Titans. Yeah, no, they don't. CEDH removal is not geared for 3 Sun Titans. It's geared for, like, I need to stop this Thassa's Oracle or this Ad Nauseum. And it does not stop 3 Sun Titans all that well. Yeah, Seraphic Greatsword did not feel good, Jason. Did not feel good. Slap in the face indeed. Came up with a white ramp spell that seems decent. Sorcery speed Harrow that fetched planes. Just give me white cultivate. Just give me white cultivate and I'll be so happy. Harrow's cool too, though. They're very similar in what they do. No, I haven't eaten the Cadbury yet. Like I said, we have just a backlog of junk food. We have 3 different types of cookies, a giant cake, and just more than that. I'm working on. I'm staring at it right on my desk. We will get there. I appreciate it. Looks like we need a player, by the way. Right now we're kind of just chit-chatting. All right, I'm going to open it up to you guys. I need 1 player for this game on Magic Online right now. You need either a mono white or a mono green deck and have it ready to go and join this game. Any takers? Any takers? Kristen, have a lovely evening. I'll talk to you soon. Kristen might be in a future episode of this series. We'll probably do some paper games and get the old webcam out. Anyone, we need 1 MTGO player with a white or green deck. Mono white or mono green. Available to play right now. Do I have a Kemba deck? I do not. Wouldn't be terribly difficult to make one. But in this exact second, I do not have a Kemba deck assembled and ready to go. A friend of yours wants to ban Soul Ring, saying turn 1 Soul Ring is too strong. What do you think? Yeah, turn 1 Soul... So, the reason Champ got out to a huge start in this game is because of turn 1 Mana Crypt, right? So, if he doesn't do that, then he's not making tons and tons of value super early in the game like he was. So, it's a very strong thing, and... You know, one of the things that people have done, I talked to someone a while back that they said... You can run Soul Ring and Mana Crypt, but you can't play them until turn 3. And I thought that was like a pretty good take on it because now you don't have to change your deck, but you're kind of eliminating that whole someone as a Planeswalker on turn 2 kind of thing, which is exactly what Champ did in this game. So I get it. It's Soul Ring and Mana Crypt are very broken and allow you to do some really broken things early in the game. And you have to have a deck that's geared to be able to catch up to that. Just to not have a non-game. Doesn't look like we have any takers. All right, looks like we're just going with 3 then. Gonna have a... Oh, yeah, looks like we're going with 3. Three-player games are the triangle of death. This is a hand that I feel much more better about. This is hard for opponents to interact with. It's not super, super fast, but it should get us to Gargos pretty safely, and that's something I can feel pretty good about. So we'll keep this one. So for those just tuning in, Mono White took the first game. They did get a Mana Crypt opener, and they stopped our Mana Crypt opener. So that was kind of a big deal in that game. But yeah, we got game 2 going. Could only find 3 people for this one, so Triangle of Death, but should still be interesting nonetheless. Much more better? Did I say much more better? I say funny things in here. My attention is usually something like 20% on the game, 30 to 40% on the chat, and then, like, I don't know, 10% on the words that I say, and then, I don't know, the other remaining percent on just, like, trying to manage all of those tasks at once. There's a Maze of Ith. That is a non-mana producing land, but perhaps we could change that out in the deck. We'll see. But we'll drop a forest right here and pass turn. Here's a question. So Lolix says, Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, Moxes all come from an old era of Magic where it was common for rocks to tap for more mana than they cost. Fair enough. The question that I have, if you made a Soul Ring that tapped for 1, would it be too strong? And I would love to see some playtest data on that. It's a question that I've had for a while. It just makes you think. I'm like, if Soul Ring made only 1 mana, would it still be good? I think it would go in some decks. I don't think it would go in every deck. Skull Clamp coming in. Yeah, it was pretty good. Also a land tax for opponent. Another land tax. Double the land tax. So when we cultivate, they will be finding lands. Here's a Hero's Bane. Play this forest. Nothing to do on 2. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, is that this deck is like a little bit light on 1 and 2 drops. So if I really wanted to power it up more 1 and 2 drops. But as it is, it's like Gargos is just a strong commander, so even if it's a little slow out of the gate, it has such a strong mid to late game that it's just insane, so. Yeah, I mean, of the 2, Soul Ring is way less broken than Mana Crypt. Mana Crypt allows you to do silly things on turn 1. And the fact that it has no mana cost associated with it just kind of makes it a headache too. Someone played like some Mana Leak style card, and it was on turn 3, I think, and like, oh hey, Soul Ring doesn't have a mana cost, so they could just pay for it, and it was fine, right? If it's a Soul Ring or literal anything else, then they have to at least pay the mana for the card, and nope, not with Mana Crypt. Opponent did get themselves a Blind Obedience, and that is a pretty good stacks piece against a lot of things. So kind of shuts off the whole haste Crater Hoof style of thing for the most part. So pretty good play for them. Really good white card. And if you let it stick around long enough, it will kill you. I've had that happen a lot. We're going to play the Kodama's Reach right now. Get that ramp going. This is what I wanted to see more of in the last game. We just never got to it. I did scry past it with the, or hideaway past it with the hideaway land, which was unfortunate. We kind of needed the cultivate, but what can you do? Always felt bad when you green sun for 0. You know, that's not a play that I've really ever made that much. I should probably, like, get on that train, but it just never seemed that exciting to me. And maybe it's because I've been a white player for most of my life, and then, like, I see that thing, I'm like, that's a land that I can blow away in a board wipe. And I get excited by that stuff. Also, Blasphemous Act. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should adopt that into the things that I do. How does an MTG player submit a card design to Wizards? You do not. I have barked up that tree for a little while, and you do not is how that works. They have a whole bunch of rules in place that they are not supposed to look at or like even look at unsolicited card designs. So it is very unlikely that you or I or anyone we know will ever have a card made that goes to WotC and actually gets printed somewhere. We're on 5 mana right now. How do we get to the 6 mana that we need for our commander? What's this one do? Non-land permanent. Well, I kind of want lands. X or less. Put it onto the battlefield. There could be some cool stuff in there, though. Or we can just go for a Nylea, play it cool that way. We should go for this Mana Gorger Hydra. Start having a good time with that. Mana Gorger Hydra, pretty good. Does come in tap, though. There's an Odric in play. Odric, pretty good card. Yeah, so finishing up on the card design thoughts, I have a Word doc on my desktop that's like 50 white card designs that would all be like awesome and within the color pie of things that it can do. Without, and for the most part, like most of them wouldn't be game-breakingly good, although there might be one or two in there that are, but they're at least ready for like play testing, and they would be sweet cards that, you know, I don't know. They really overcomplicate the trying to make white better type of thing, and it's kind of frustrating. When you look at a card like, let's just say Sunbird's Invocation. The general premise of Sunbird's Invocation is you cast one card, you get two, and it's awesome. They need to make some white card that's on that theme. Doesn't need to be exactly the same way. It could be like some sort of token that it produces, but is much better than a 2/2 Knight, since a 2/2 Knight is like, it's not the most valuable. There's a Colossus Hammer. Oh, that seems good. Damage might be happening soon, but we are pumping up this Mana Gorger Hydra, so that's a good thing. Creates a core, and they can equip the Colossus Hammer. Yeah, Colossus Hammer. Nice card for Nahiri. Nice card for the Nahiri deck. Yeah, they've got an 11/11. Watch out for that. Maze of Ith will be helpful. That should send them in the other direction. But yeah, like conceptually, making a white card that's like kind of like Sunbird's Invocation, I cast one, I get two, isn't a difficult thing to do, and there should be a way to do it in white that is flavorful and fits thematically with what should be happening. Now, if it made like a 4/4 angel, like cast a creature, get a 4/4 angel, that'd be pretty cool. And like that card doesn't really exist as far as I'm aware. There isn't anything that's on that like Sunbird's Invocation, Wild Pair, or Lurking Predators type of level where it's like, hey, I play this enchantment that's good, and then I get a bunch of creatures out of it that are also good, and cool things happen. So yeah, I don't know. Like you can look to cards and colors that already exist, and like without copying the card exactly, you could be like, all right, what is the base idea of this card? And then just like, I make something like it, but white in flavor, and change it a little bit mechanically to fit white's color pie. And then you can have like, you can do some really cool stuff, and they just haven't done that at all. I also looked into getting a job at Wizards of the Coast, and, you know, I applied and they never responded to me. So that's how that went. Doesn't mean I'll stop looking, but for the time being. For the time being, you or I will not be submitting cards to Wizards of the Coast for card design. Odric Lunarch Marshal now is flying because of this Vryn Wingmare. Lucky for us, our deck is a lot of creatures, so as annoying as Vryn Wingmare is, hopefully hurt us a little bit less than the other white deck. Moves the Skull Clamp, yep. Does tick down the Nahiri quite a bit. One attack on Nahiri basically means that there probably won't be enough time in this game to ultimate that Nahiri, which is good for us, bad for like the design of Nahiri in the sense of they made that ultimate way too expensive. And also like, it's fine. For a 10 loyalty ultimate, it's fine. Doesn't just win the game, which is seems underwhelming. Hardened Scales, you say? Oh, Hardened Scale seems good. Play this Maze of Ith. No Urborg yet? Nope, can't make mana with it. But yeah, we'll use that to keep the 11/11 away. In the meantime, I think we can play a Nylea. Get a counter on the Mana Gorger Hydra. Oh, we should have did that in the reverse order. Who saw that? Whoops. Going to be one smaller than we could have been otherwise. Maybe two smaller? Maybe two smaller. Who's the threat? That's an 11-11. Well, we can't attack into that. We can attack Champ, though. Sorry, Champ. Here's 6. I think this was in an overrated card video. I'm like, what? All people want to do is like ramp until they can cast 4 spells a turn. You're telling me that a creature you can get on turn 3 that turns into like a 10-10 with trample really quickly is not valuable? I disagree. I disagree. What is the best way to draw cards in Boros? There are different options. Generally, I like Mask of Memory and like 5 tutors to go find Mask of Memory, because you just throw it on like a Hate Bearer or something, Remorseful Cleric, something like that, and then you're drawing cards early, and it's nice and easy. It's easy to give it double strike, easy to get Aurelia, go get double combats. Mask of Memory is one of my favorites. Wheel of Misfortune is a nice new piece for red and white. Any of the wheels are definitely solid, but especially the 3-mana wheels. Magus of the Wheel. It's not the best card draw, but like it's a wheel on a budget, right? If you can't afford a Wheel of Fortune, it does a nice budget impersonation of a Wheel of Fortune without spending $300 or whatever it cost. Jessica's Will, solid card. Note that Fire and Ice, as cool of a card as that is like not the first thing that I would go for if I'm working on a budget. Like, it's a sweet card, but it doesn't get really impactful until you get like 2 triggers in a turn. So you either need Double Strike or Aurelia or something like that. A single trigger of Fire and Ice is like not the best card draw. And it's like not the best removal either. It's fine. It's when you have 2, you get 4 damage in a turn. That starts to matter a bit. What's the opinion on Great Henge? Great Henge is a broken magic card. It's just too good. It does everything. It's mana ramp, life gain, +1/+1 counters, and card draw. Like, what does it not do? Oh, and it's got cost reduction, right? Like, if they have to actually pay 10 for it, it wouldn't be nearly as ubiquitous as it is. And then compare that to the Circle of Loyalty. Ari posted about the Circle of Loyalty the other day. I'm like, oh, you don't want to be posting about that card. That's the Throne of Eldraine was the set that kind of started, like, that got everyone on the white is bad, you need to make better white cards bandwagon. You know, before that point, I think it was kind of like, there were whispers, some people talked about it. Throne of Eldraine, everyone's like, what? And I think that's when the Command Zone really kind of latched onto it too. So, yeah, like, Circle of Loyalty is not a card that you want to be using for comparisons. Is it a cool card? Yeah, in a vacuum, it's a cool card, but next to the other cards that came out with it, it is so much, it's so inferior. There's a land, so we can cast Gargos, and that seems like it's probably going to be a pretty good idea. Cast Gargos. Odric Lunarch Marshal. I imagine that Sean is going to do the heavy lifting here. So, what do we want to do with this 12/12? We just send it to his face? I think we just send it to his face. Oh, not Nylea is also a creature now, too. We'll send this one. We'll leave Nylea back in case they pop a land or something. It's a good blocker. What kind of computer runs MTGO? This is a PC. Surely not a quantum supercomputer. I don't understand the... I don't understand. This is actually a pretty sweet computer, but, you know, MTGO has its limits. It is not a highly performative program. It gets very slow and very laggy sometimes. Great Henge fits in perfectly with the suite of green creatures running around lately. 4 mana, 4/4 with 6 abilities, 5 mana, 6/6 With 6 abilities, yeah. Yeah, it fits right into that. Yeah, jam way too many abilities onto this undercosted thing. Why not? Why not? There's an assault suit. That's a kind of crazy card. Definitely makes me feel a lot better with a Mazavith. You've been fighting against green for a while now? Yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too. Mostly on Twitter to like no real avail. They still keep printing Elder Gargaroths and stuff. There'll probably be another one in the next set, right? Like if in Commander Legends you have Kodama, Kodama is like the dumb green card that goes infinite with everything. There's a pretty big attack coming our way. Let's turn off auto yields. Good thing we left a blocker. Pretty big attack. Who can we block? That's got Double Strike and Vigilance. Oh, we can block the Silverblade Paladin. I think that'll take it out. That one's got flying, so we can't block that. Yeah, let's block the silver. What? Oh, whoops. We are not at the blocker step yet. Oops. Now we're at the blocker step. Yeah, block the Silverblade Paladin. Then Mazavith, the big one. You made a card that's so confusing you know it's not going to get printed. So never say never. They did print the companion and the mutate mechanics. And those are confusing, break a lot of rules, and they had to basically rewrite they had to add paragraphs to the comprehensive rules to make that stuff work. So never say never. Never say never. Silverblade Paladin comes back with a flying counter on it. And is it resoul bonded? Maybe it's not. We have this monstrous onslaught in hand. We're probably going to want to use that. Champ's going to draw a card with the Bonder's Enclave. Yep. We did go down to 22, though. That was a pretty big hit. We felt that. We felt that a bit. Excited for Kaldheim Angels? Yeah, I am too. As much as I'm concerned, I'm still hopeful that there will be some really cool white cards in Kaldheim. Maybe they won't be problem-solving white cards, but at least hopefully fun and powerful. Some cool angels. There's the Angel Cost Reducer, which is sweet for my angel deck. If you like playing angels, Angel Cost Reducer of 2 definitely needs to go in. Yeah, why didn't I play Hardened Scales first? Because I'm not the best green pilot. I don't play green that often. I didn't think about it. Like I said, 20% in the game, 30% in the chat, 40% managing everything else. Mother of Ruins coming in. Triggers the Mana Gorger Hydra. Yeah, Double Strike is really good with Mask of Memory. It's really good with God Eternal Oketra. I mean, any of the swords, any of the on-combat triggers are really good with God Eternal Oketra. It's that weird feeling for me. I'm like, wow, this thing's got Double Strike. It's really good when you put swords on it, but the rest of that deck wants to be about doing the creature loop and stuff. And I'm just like, I kind of just want to put swords on it. I have a very not great God Eternal Oketra in paper. It's mostly left over from other mono white Voltron decks that I've had in the past, so it's kind of in the middle. It's fine. It's only ever won one game, and that was because of Smothering Tithe. Embercleave's still the best card in Standard? Yeah. Embercleave is a really serious match card. Here's what I like about Embercleave. Not only is it good, it is very good. It's also that like it kind of filled a thing that Red needed. Red didn't have like a great double strike kind of finisher like that, and Embercleave just it fills a lot of holes that Red had, which is just I need this thing to get through for a lot of damage right now. Creature wise, like I get they have burn and stuff, but if I'm doing the creature thing, I need to get my creature through double strike and trample +1/+1. Just a really good card that like fits into a slot for something that Red needed. And that's kind of what I've been talking about with White, is that they need problem solving cards that kind of fill in these gaps of things that you need. Another one beside, like I talked about rampant card draw, I'm sure a lot at this point, but like creature tutors, there are so few of them in White. You don't have great ways to search for the creatures you want to search for in White. Just having more ability to search for the cards you want would be really good. Ameria Shepherd, we talked about it earlier, is a really cool White card, and there is no great way to find it in a mono White deck. You just have to hope and pray, and any of the old artifacts that dig out creatures are way too expensive to reasonably be useful. So planar bridge, planar portal, that sort of stuff. Cytennial flute. Who's the Ari guy I'm referring to? Ari Nie is the White Council of Colors guy at Wizards of the Coast. He's available on Twitter. And he's been making some appearances. He was on a podcast like 2 weeks ago talking about some stuff. And again, I like him, but I disagree with some of the directions that he believes White should be going in. And no one heard that. So we drop a land, brings back to our turn. We have this Monstrous Onslaught, which seems really good. I think we go ahead and play this Monstrous Onslaught. Divide 20 damage. Check. 3. Let's get rid of the Moth. The Moth is an issue. Let's get rid of the Silver Blade. Can eat 2/2. And green doesn't have good removal. You guys ready for this thing? It's 5. That's 2. That's correct. We've got 2 additional damage. We can. I guess we just put that right there. Everything looks good, I think. And we'll need to pay a little bit extra. That's okay, though. Use this Monstrous Onslaught. Remember, removal is the weakness for green. We didn't just cast a 5-mana one-sided board wipe. I get that we need a Mana Gorge or Hydra to do it, but even if we only have Gargos, it's still reasonable. Down goes most of our opponent's stuff. Yeah, we can finish champ right here. We probably should. Sean can have the big one, and we'll finish champ. Companion and Mutate felt like a huge mistake to print. How they changed multiple formats? Yeah, they were. I applaud them for trying something new, but Mutate was really forced and definitely like when you have to change as many rules as that to accommodate a mechanic, I don't know. That just doesn't seem like a great place to be. Not playing Boros Angels? Anyone ready for the end times? Yeah, So I wanted to start this series. And the idea is that like as we have different people kind of rotate in and out of the games and in and out of the series, I'll be switching between colors. At some point, I'll be playing the white deck, so we'll get there. Yeah, let's get this Genesis Hydra X4. Yeah, that looks correct. Managorger Hydra, Genesis Hydra. Permanents, eh? Looks like a whiff. Looks like a whiff. And I think we can pass like that. Feel pretty good about where we are. Maze of Ith is good. As long as they don't find land destruction, we're pretty safe. Or anything like too big and splashy. White should get rewards for exiling opponents' permanents. Like Hydroid Crassus. Yeah, or even who's that new guy in Boros? Belborka. That's a cool take on exile. It's not like the most powerful thing ever. I would ratchet that up a little bit for like a mono white commander, but yeah, and that's kind of the thing is that white needs rewards for things that it's already wanting to do, right? Like green's payoffs are so easy to achieve that they like almost aren't conditions, right? So this thing checks a creature's power. We had 20 power when that went off, and that's like not even that hard to do. So you know what I mean? It's almost like there's no condition there. Well, this thing's gonna get us. Destroy all creatures with power 4 or greater. They can't be regenerated. Yeah, I wish we had the mana for that, but we do not. We do not. Well, that's not great. We've not drawn cards the way that I want to this turn or this game. Yeah, that's gonna change this game around a little bit. Return to the command zone, yes. Cathar's Crusade. Ooh, all right. That's a card that can beat us. That is definitely a card that can beat us. Yep, Nahiri going to make a counter, especially if they get landfall triggers going too. It's going to be a thing. Equips the token. I think we need another land. That's where we need to be. There's another land. Excellent. Play Gargos. Part of me did think about holding that up. I don't know why I didn't hold that up last turn. I probably should have. That's a 12-12. Nylea can't get past that, so we're just going to stay back. He's actually up to 7 on the Nahiri, which is surprising. It took a hit early. I guess it stayed in play the whole time, but we'll see if we can get to it within the next turn. Might be able to trample our way there. Felidar Retreat. Green should be able to do that. Yeah, I assume that's the Monstrous Onslaught that you're talking about. There's a Pure Steel Paladin. Those are good. Opponent Extort says, yeah, now we're getting to the part of the game where Extort is going to be a big deal. Green has a 1-up on every color except black. Draws better than blue. Gains more life than white. Eats creatures like no one's business. Yeah. I mean, the removal is still like... It's not the best. It's fine. There's definitely removal out there that you can use, but it's not... It still has conditions attached to it, which makes it just a little bit less good than everything else. But, like, sure, that Monstrous Onslaught, right? Like, we didn't care about the condition that much. It was a one-sided board wipe. No big deal. Life is fine. What's on this thing? Okay. So, I'm just going to block this because I don't want to untap it. By untapping it, it makes it harder for us to attack in. Yeah, I generally agree with that too. I would say green and black are the two best colors. Black because of all the tutors, and you can just like you can have a combo or you can have a thing that you can go really easily get, and it's just there's not that much you can do about it as an opposing deck. So they have really good access to the things they need to win the game, and that's a really powerful thing. Green, same sort of thing, but usually more so based out of card draw, unless the thing you're tutoring for is a creature, which is often Craterhoof. Yeah, okay. So we draw a Rampant Growth. Let's play the Hero's Bane. Double green. Comes in tapped. Yeah, we do need the blockers. 8/7 doesn't really attack past stuff right now. That's not the best. Rampant Growth. Oh, we might see the Nahiri ultimate. Man, that's so hard to get to, but they've had stuff all game, so they just haven't been touched. They took that one attack and nothing since. So, we're gonna have to figure that out. This only draws one right now. Ideally, in response to a board wipe would be the best thing. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Yeah, I think we'll just stay put. Think we need to be defending. Nathan saying Eternal Witness is better than most reanimation in black. Eternal Witness is immensely powerful. In a game like this, getting back your best card, like once you're around turn 8, turn 9, getting back your best card often wins the game. And that's not even like loops. That's just, I'm getting my best card back, I'm playing it again, and it's good enough to do the thing to win the game. You start talking about, any of the bounce stuff where you can loop it, Living Death, things like that. Oof. Eternal Witness is a really nasty card. And yeah, like, it sucks because they probably wouldn't print that now. Oh, that's Sun Titan. Sun Titan's good. But it's a card that exists in Commander, and like, Eternal Witness is generally better than like most of the white reanimation out there. It's just too efficient and too good. And like, now we have to live with that, and that's the thing. Cathar's Crusade, Sun Titan getting back Silverblade Paladin. Ooh, yeah, okay. They are rebuilding. We need to draw. We really need to get a card draw card going. Perhaps I cut too many of those. I'm not sure that this deck has like the reach we need right now. I mean, I guess there's Craterhoof and stuff, but it probably all starts with just drawing a bunch of cards. Plus is it. They're up to 11. That's a problem. Next turn, we're going to see the legendary Stoneforge Blade. I guess it's not legendary, but it's 5/5 and double strike. And yeah, seems bad. Ooh. Here comes a lot of attacks. This is going to hurt. So we should... no trample. We'll try to eat this one. Use this one. Any profitable blocks? Just the core. I guess that core also. We'll block this one because it's bigger. We need the maze one. All right, that's blocked. That's not blocked. That's not blocked. Yeah, untap the Pure Steel Paladin, I guess. Oh, that one was 9. Probably should have did that one. Whoops. Hope that doesn't kill us. Down to 6. We've got one more crack at it. Gonna need something big. If it's a land, I'm gonna cry. Moves the assault suit. Yep. It's a land. Knew it. You don't ramp early. You find those lands late. Play the forest. We need to win or survive. How do we do either? That's got trample. Put X +1/+1 counters on it where X is its power. We can draw a card. I mean, can we double its power up so much that it just eats all of their stuff? It's 9, 10 mana. We have 10 mana. So we could do that twice. So it would go to 10 and then it would go to 20. Probably not actually enough to, like, just get there. Yeah, not leaving up the Inspiring Call was kind of a mistake earlier. Should have did that. If we Inspiring... we can try an Inspiring Call. We're only going to draw 1. But... yeah, I think we have to. The other plan isn't good enough by itself. Oh, we'll get some extra counters off the Hardened Scales, but that's still probably... Nissa's Pilgrimage, really. Yep, those are the cards you want to draw early. Don't want to draw those late. I mean, yeah, send everything, I guess. Maybe don't send that one. No, don't send that one either, because that's not big enough. Send this one. Guess we go to Nahiri. If we stop, I don't think we're going to survive either way, but unless something wild happens. They're only going to block with 1. Is it going to matter, though? Probably not. So we trample over the thing. Nahiri goes down to 6. I guess we Nissa's Pilgrimage, and then we just kind of die. We get 3 forests. Yeah, I wish I had that play early, because now we die. So we'll scoop it up right there. We'll see if we can get one more going. These games have been going pretty quick. We just got to find people. His hand was lands Argentum Armor. Argentum Armor would easily wrap it up. Probably need to, like, tweak this deck just a bit. Yeah, we're not getting the fast starts that I had hoped for, so... we need more card draw. We need more other stuff. We have creatures in hand. We're just, like, not drawing enough cards. Try a Beast Whisperer. Oh, let's see what else. What else do we need? Had a Basalt Monolith. Maybe we'll bring that back in. Actually, we had the other thing. Let's get Land War Tribe Scout. Although, actually, Basalt Monolith... Yeah, maybe bring both. Get both. Return of Wild Speaker. That's one we need. Big time. Yeah, biggest problem right now, we haven't been drawing enough. Let's see what else. What do we... Or maybe drop the Tribe Scout. Got the Basalt Monolith back in. We've got Somberwald Sage, and we've got... Do we have the other one? I thought there were more of those. Maybe not. I don't know. Genesis Hydra has been a little bit underwhelming. I'm going to drop that one. I'll drop Asceticism. As good as it is, it's been a little bit clunky and hasn't been our issue right now. I guess I've also like misplayed a few times too. I think our issue more than anything is misplaying, but... Thinking. What are we getting rid of? Maybe, like Rampant Growth probably just isn't good enough, honestly. All right, let's try it like that. See if we can round some people up for this game. Anyone else? Anyone available in chat that wants to join this game? We need 2. Ooh, Frostfang. Yeah, Frostfang is a really good card, actually. I did have Hunter's Insight. Ooh, what up, Professor? I did have Hunter's Insight at one point. But it was a little clunky at 5. But it is solid. Could probably come back in. Again, I'm not the best Gargos player ever. I've only ever played it like a handful of times. I've had one in progress in paper that I was building, and I was mostly just trading for it. And when going to the shop stopped being a thing, then I stopped working on that Gargos deck. So it's just kind of sitting there with like, has 4 total Hydras in it. Needs about 20 more, and it is incomplete. Works well as an Enchantress build. Yeah, I haven't tried Gargos as an Enchantress. I was thinking about just like jamming a bunch of like cantrips and stuff and fighting everything in sight. Sweet, we got Doc joining. Sean said he'll be back in a moment. 2 games for white so far, but like the one thing that I do want to capture in some of this stuff is that like I have not played my best and I have not been running the best decks out there. So that's something that I do want to like refine as we get going. Like my white decks will probably be much better than my green decks because yeah, that's just how it is. But I'm also playing like Gargos is a tribal deck, and not to say that it's a bad tribe or anything, but just it's not like Goreclaw, which is just jam every good creature into the deck and run away with the game that way. I actually wouldn't mind having a bit more removal in this deck. We're down to 22 creatures now, so I guess that's a thing. Probably wouldn't mind that being a bit higher. We've got Doc, just waiting on Sean. Monocolored only. Asceticism doesn't necessarily work against what you're doing. It's really good protection. More than anything, you want your things to stay alive. Two wins for white. White is officially busted. Yeah, no, and I know it's because I'm just not running the best decks out there. I do know that's a thing, so. What's a chaos deck? Oh, you don't want to know what a chaos deck. Chaos deck use cards that kind of change the landscape of the game in a way that generally causes people a lot of headaches. There's the game has started, but oh god, like Confusion in the Ranks is a classic chaos card. Apparently I don't own one. Whenever an artifact, creature, or enchantment enters the battlefield, its controller chooses target permanent another player controls, and they exchange those cards, right? That's a chaos card. You load your deck up with a bunch of effects like that, and then everyone gets a really big headache when they play the game. And generally no one has a good time, is what happens. And if there's a judge in your meta, they have a really bad time. Bad opening hand right here. No lands. At least it's an easy mulligan. I actually drew my deck out with an Oran Frostfang the other day on stream. I had 3 of them and was attacking with like 20 creatures and left 2 people alive at like 3 life and accidentally drew 51 cards when I only had 41. Well, this isn't any better. Mana Vault, land, Thought Vessel. That only gets us to 2 mana. That's not great. Where's the lands and ramp? I want lands and ramp like cultivates. I want lands and cultivates. Why is that so hard to mulligan to 6? This is the best of the bunch. Ooh, we got a Rikai, History of Kamigawa. We're going to keep right here. What are we getting rid of? Great Henge is too good. Collector Oof, maybe. I know it's so good, but Blossoming Defense, we'll live without it. It's really good in this deck, but we've got card draw. We've got some disruption, so Possibility Storm, another classic chaos card. Fun card. Ooh, Soul Ring. Yeah, that's why we went for Collector Oof. This is not Two-Headed Giant. This is just green versus white, still a free-for-all. Kind of doing some stuff doing a series where I want to like really mash a lot of green and white decks together, different decks, different pilots, keep track of the results, kind of see where things really are, right? Like we all complain that green too strong. We all complain that white isn't strong enough. Like let's get some actual playtest data and like try and confirm some of that. It's a thing that I'm really big on doing these days. So, that's what we're doing. And this is going to be a running series. I've got some people lined up for some paper games we'll do eventually on webcam. So, yeah. Two-Headed Giant used to be on MTGO. It no longer is. You can kind of like fake Two-Headed Giant by just, when one team dies, everyone kind of scoops and stuff. But not doing that today. Two-Headed Giant is kind of a different animal altogether. So land pass, we're last in the order. Not great. The 2020 Trampling Hydras are your removal? Yeah. Having trouble keeping them on the board last game. We had them. I had the protection spell. Should have just held up the protection spell better. That's a Gideon. Seems good. Getting a plus on itself, sure. We do have a Heliod in the game. That's a really strong commander. I was looking it up earlier today when I was kind of like planning this whole thing out. Heliod listed as a tier 2 CEDH commander. Pretty good. Because the thing that I wanted to like get to, I wanted to have like strong decks, but not CEDH strong. And like these aren't quite there. The one that Champ had came out kind of strong, but other than that, they haven't been like particularly fast. Our deck hasn't had like its best showing yet. So I kind of wanted to get to that place, and we're still like kind of, I would say we're just above mid power right now. Ooh, Sylvan Library, huh? Do we let that Soul Ring go? Oh, they could be on their commander though. Yeah, Collector Roof first. Slow down that Soul Ring. Pray for the land off the top, then we could potentially go Emerald, oh my god, I can't say it. Emerald Medallion into Sylvan Library. Gonna get a sip of water. How many times have I drawn a land after using the land tax ability? Like 75% of the time. It's most of the time. Yeah, Goreclaw is a ridiculous commander. Goreclaw is like near CEDH. If you ever hear me talk about turn 4 Void Winnower or turn 4 Tooth and Nail, that was all a Goreclaw deck. Gideon coming in our way. Yep. Also shuts down this Shadow Spear. Is nice for us. Grand Abolisher, nice. Love Grand Abolisher. Yeah, also gives trample. It was in this deck for a second, and then I pulled it out, but it could probably go back in. Actually, no. A lot of the Hydras don't have power, so it doesn't like help you a ton. But it does give them trample once they're in play, so that's a thing. But now we've got Garruk's Uprising, which is also a pretty serious card. Soul Warden coming in. Good card. Good card. What up, EK? 2 wins for white is how it's going. I did make another like critical mistake in the last game, though. Perhaps I need to focus up more while playing. Definitely going to look weird for the stats. Rikai coming into play. History of Kamigawa. Auto that. Brings back to our turn. There's that land we were looking for. Excellent. Emerald Medallion. Sylvan Library. Had it the whole time. Never didn't have it. Oh, can we bully someone? Yeah, it's not worth bullying someone for 1 damage. Or 2 damage, rather, past one of the things. We'll just sit back. Yeah, EK mentions this. I basically told the mono white players to not hold anything back. Just like go as nasty as you can without having specifically a CEDH deck. Which like that was kind of the weird one, like because I was looking at the Heliod deck earlier, and I'm like, yeah, if you build the CEDH version of that deck, it'll probably win in 4 turns. And I didn't want that specifically, but like But Ballista combo is still on the table, right? It just needs to not be. It needs to not be like the only thing that deck does, because you can build that to be very good. And yeah, tier 2 competitive, but yeah, but stacks on the table, Armageddon on the table, prison rules basically. Other than CDH, prison rules. Endless Atlas coming in. And again, like, I haven't built this. This deck is not as strong as it can be. It can be much better than it is, and we're still giving them a run for their money. They need to be having the stuff and making the plays. So. Not true, Ian. I played a Monstrous Onslaught for X20 in the last game. Also, any fight card with Gargos is insane. Is it great? Is it perfect removal? No, it's not perfect removal. It's not Blasphemous Act and things of the sort. But yeah, Monstrous Onslaught. One-sided board wiping green. Who knew? Also, Azuri's Predation. Also in this deck. Yeah, that was so Jet asks, where did we draw the line between casual and CEDH? That's a tough thing to draw out. The fast mana is a good place. We're running like normal Soul Ring Mana Crypt. We're not running Chrome Mox, Mox Diamond, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and like natural tutors, like Enlightened Tutor, you're just gonna run an Enlightened Tutor if you have it. But like, there's a bunch of the tutors for like constructs and Heliod are getting a little further down the list that suggest like you'd probably only run that in the CDH build. But it is a hard thing to define. And honestly, I think the biggest thing is like the CMC of your deck sort of dictates it more than anything. The CMC for a CDH deck is going to be really low, and you're not going to have like basically anything past like 5 mana, and you're probably going to have like 1/5 drop and that whole type of thing. So I think that's the guide more than anything, just because it is really hard to define what is and what isn't exactly. Sylvan Library trigger, yeah, we're just going to draw everything. Pay the life. Play land. Play this Cultivate. This is the stuff we were trying to do in the other games, and it just wasn't working out for us. So finally getting the ramp going. Stopping the artifacts. Got our next land play set up. We can get we can get this Garruk's Uprising. Yeah, let's roll. We'll pass like that. And next turn, we should be on schedule for Gargos. Opponent shoots the Collector Roof. What'd they get it with? I didn't see. Did anyone see? Check the game log. Activates Gideon Blackblade. Target exile non-land permanent. Oh, they used the Gideon. How about that? Oof down. Still, it did the work. It kept them from getting like a turn 3 Nahiri or something like that. So them shooting that is them not shooting something else. Here comes Nahiri. Yep. EK saying, I think a weird outcome of this experiment is going to show how an average or close to average green deck can hang with a mono white deck at its best. Yeah. I think that's what we'll end up seeing too, based on a couple games here. Like, my deck is not tuned to the 9s. And they've been able to get to us. And admittedly, I made some mistakes in there, so I want to document that somehow as well. But mistakes are weird in Commander. So the mistakes that I made were kind of bad. They were like pretty bad, egregious mistakes in the sense of like, I know better. And that they left us really, really exposed to certain things. There are many small mistakes that will happen in a game. And, for all the Commander that I play, it is rare that anyone plays like a perfect game of Commander, but there's definitely like a severity of the level of mistake that you make. And, I made 2 that were pretty severe in my opinion. Bad opening keep and misplayed with the or not holding up mana for the indestructible spell. Big deals in my opinion. Solemn Simulacrum coming in. Did 8 to ourselves at the Sylvan Library. Yeah, we can use a little life gain. This thing gains us life, doesn't it? Yeah, that'll gain us life. So that'll be our life gain. We'll want to protect our life a little bit more after this. If all goes well, which I hope it does, we should be drawing a bunch of cards right here. Made a Denitha Mono White from Leftover Precons. Denitha's a cool card. It has a lot of keywords on it. I've just never played it much myself. It's always kind of like that 104th card for decks that I build. Average CMC of your Calamax is 1.7. Yeah, we would call that a CEDH deck, probably. I don't know if it's competitive exactly, but that would lean more towards this is probably a CEDH deck than more so than it being a casual deck. Opponent swinging in. We are down to 16. We are bleeding life. We need blockers. I guess it's also worth pointing out that in the first couple games, there were more white decks than there were green decks. I wanted it to be a 2-2 kind of thing. That way, equal percentages and all that. But didn't pan out that way, just on the availability of players. So I don't know. We'll write all that down, see what it means. Maybe it doesn't mean anything. Who knows? Build a good deck and play it well. You'll probably have a lot of success. Bring a mediocre deck and don't pilot it well, you're probably not going to have a lot of success, which is what I've been doing up to this point. Here comes Surrak. Here's a card that kind of drives me crazy. If I told you there's a 4-mana legendary creature that gives another creature haste and asked you, what color do you think that card is? You're probably not going to say green. You'd probably say, oh, that seems like it's probably a red card. It's not. It is not. We are liable for more damage, though. We'll see how this goes. All right, paying some attention to the Nahiri. Love it. More attention to the Nahiri. Even better. Getting that off our back for a little bit. Man, we're down to 16 on turn 5. That's aggressive. That's hard to do. I know 8 of it was ourselves, so we could be at, 24? Even still, that's a lot of early punishment. Nahiri goes down. We're also last, though, so we're kind of just a bit behind our opponents. They all get that, they get the jump on us in that sense. Sylvan Library. I would love to get multiple creatures into play right here, but doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Use the library. Crossing Grip, land, put the Tranquil Thicket back on top, put the Forest back on top. Maybe we should have kept the Tranquil Thicket. Whoops. Yeah, I could have thought about that more. Oopsie. Maybe, actually, you know what we can do right here? I think just cast Gargos. Oh, is it the Forest on top? Yeah, it's probably the Forest next. Heliod trigger. Yep, seems good. Seems good. We draw a card. It's a Forest. I guess we just play a Forest. Yeah, we could have played the tap land right here if I managed that out better. It's okay. We've got our next couple land drops lined up, though. Gargos is in. This Soul Warden's starting to get pretty big, though. It's a 7/7. Oh, do we not draw one at the end step? Guess that's not how that works. You've been buying the precon since Zendikar Rising. Anawan got tweaked. Obun, Jared got Boros Rekner. Reap the Tide. Yeah, it's fun stuff. There's Austere Command, all creatures. I'm actually fine with that. Ooh. Makes the Grand Abolisher indestructible first. Yeah, good play, good play. We go back to the command zone, though. That's going to slow us down a bit. Didn't need that. Opponent draws a card. What do I think Foretell will be? I have no idea. I'm aware of the forecast mechanic. It's not one that they've really revisited in any sense, though. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe some sort of reveal type of mechanic. Show something from your hand. You get something out of it. We will see. Opponent swings into the Garruk Wildspeaker, takes that down. Excellent. Still giving us time to get back into it. Burnish Dart for opponent. Daxos. Oops, reverse order right there. So that'd be an example of a small mistake. That one life, probably not going to matter in the course of a game, but keeping a bad opening hand that can be a pretty big one, like we saw. Omnath, Locus of Mana coming in. That's a really good card, actually. Brings it back to our turn. Sylvan Library. Craterhoof, Soul Ring, Tranquil Thicket. Tranquil Thicket definitely back on top. Craterhoof on top. Keep land, Soul Ring. Play Forest. Play the Soul Ring. Play the Gargos. We draw a card. It's the Craterhoof. And yes, we pass like that. That's what I'm planning. Gargos for 8, Henge for 2. That's what I'm trying to get to. I mean, next turn we could potentially go like Great Henge, Return of Wildspeaker, Nylea, draw another card. I think. Gain some life back too. All seems really good. Just need it to hold up. That will be the problem, though. Oh, that's Heliod's Punishment, of course. We do get to fight something, though. What are we... let's fight Omnath. Omnath's too scary. Omnath is a scary card. We can Krosan Grip the Heliod's Punishment. We'll need to do that. Does eliminate our blocking, though, and that's kind of scary. Ooh, there's the Soul Bond guy. Yep, Silverblade Paladin. Start the Soul Bonding. But Nighthawk Scavenger, an Opposition Agent for Anawan. Opposition Agent is really nasty. Your guess is a type of cycling or scry. Pay a mana, exile a card from your hand, and scry equal to its CMC. Could be interesting. We'll see. We'll see what they want to do with that mechanic. You think it's adventure for not a creature? Oh, that could be interesting. Yeah, that would be an interesting take on it. That one actually kind of makes sense because, like, you know, they have the adventure mechanic, and I think it was a cool mechanic that people liked, did well, and it's not a stretch to think that maybe they could do the same thing for spells. We will see. I think the release date is like, it's the end of the month. I think it's like around the 19th or the 20th or something like that. Don't have the exact date, but end of the month of January. Archangel of Thune, that's a scary card. We are soft 2 flyers. Oh, opponent's going to gain a... Yeah, they're going to gain a life. That team's getting bigger. Doc, I think now in the driver's seat of this game. Heliod and Archangel of Thune. Oh, they going to do some work together. The best is using your Wishclaw Talisman to get your opposition agent while leaving 3 mana up. Ooh, gross. Scheming Symmetry with opposition agent. So nasty. Archangel of Thune brings you joy. Yeah, Archangel of Thune is a really cool white card, right? If every white card was like this, no one would be complaining. Big attacks into the other green deck. Excellent. You think the god who stands above the trees would have a giant bow that would at least have reach. This one? You're talking about this one? Yeah. Yeah, it does. Nylea does have a giant bow. There is no reach, but, you know, it gives team trample. Seems pretty good. Nylea is a pretty good card. It wasn't until a couple years later when they just put all the keywords on the green cards, so, you know. You know. $17. Whew. He's missed a lot of land drops, too. That's painful. He has a Temple of the False God. Catches him up a little bit. But they are exposed. They would need Sean to play another board wipe, and I don't know if that's going to happen from this position. There's a Helm of, or Shield of Cauldra, rather. Yeah, they're going to be a little bit slow on that. They can't all be questing Beast. You know, we say that now, but, like, give it 2 years. Give it, like, 2 more years of, like, the mythic rare from each set, and we'll see how many more questing beasts we get. I would love if they would rein it back in a bit, because questing beast is too much. Or, give us a white creature. 4 mana, 4/4, 6 abilities. Even if they were all, like, generic keywords, like evergreen keywords, it would still be really good. Give me, like, First Strike, Vigilance, and Lifelink, and that's already, like, a really good start. Brings it back to our turn. There's the Tranquil Thicket that we can't seem to get rid of. Reliquary Tower, Rishkar's Expertise. All those seem pretty good. Let's put that back on top. Let's put the Reliquary Tower back on top. Make sure we have enough mana to play all these. This one's going to be 2. Get the Great Henge. So this will be mana neutral. Gotta love when the Great Henge is mana neutral. Tap for 2 mana. Up to 18. Rishkar's Expertise. Paying 3. It resolves, thank God. We can cast a spell. We will cast... And this is Pilgrimage, seems good. Cast the Krosan Grip on this thing so we don't forget. Make sure, though. I don't think it's going to affect our Gargos. That down. Play the Reliquary Tower. Could use more creatures in play. What does Bane of Progress do for us right here? Hurts us kind of badly, honestly. Doesn't solve any of that. A few things for Sean, but I'm not too worried about them in this moment. Ranger's Guile gives us fighting. Fighting is good. What's the other mode on this? +3/+3. I think Nissa's Pilgrimage and I need to leave up we need to leave up the Ranger's Guile, but we are exposed. Yeah, get a bunch of forests. One into play. Got 3 mana up. We could tap it out for the Nylea. Gives us another ground creature. But I think we're also going to be needing some flying stuff too. Oh, this thing has vigilance? Jesus. Seems good. Yeah, let's go to combat. I doubt they block, but send this in, Doc. Anyway, this is kind of what you live for in the Gargos deck, is just get Gargos in, draw a million cards, and then now we actually missed a lot of Hydra somehow, but if it survives, we have Return to Wildspeaker, and that should get us into some Hydras. It goes down to 32. I'm going to pass like that. I know we could get the Nylea, but I want to hold the 1 for Ranger's Guile. I think that's too important. Oh, this was an enchantment? No, that doesn't exile, does it? No, that doesn't exile. It only destroys. Containment Priest. Gross. If a non-token creature would enter, exile it. And it wasn't cast. Silklash Spider? Yeah, Silklash Spider. As someone who likes to play a lot of flyers, I've had some bad run-ins with Silklash Spider over the years. Doesn't see much play these days. Probably a bit narrow for like most green decks, but Tornado Elemental, still a nasty card. Zatalpa is indeed 8 mana. Something that's kind of frustrating because like Zatalpa is probably, it's definitely the most overcosted of that cycle, right? Every other creature in that cycle does much more for its mana cost, including Tetsumak. And I don't know why Zatalpa had to be 8. At 7, you probably see much more of it. At 6, with like some adjusted stats, it would probably be very good. And bring back flanking. Kind of an underwhelming mechanic, honestly. Like, it's fine. It's probably cool for like limited and stuff. But for a commander, I think flanking is not going to do all that much. Because like most people don't block anyway. They're just like, I'll just take it. So until their life becomes like really low and that becomes really important, then you don't care that much. You know, we probably should have just fought the Archangel of Thune before anything happens here. We'll have to do it on the stack because really don't want them gaining more life. And like making the team even bigger. Create 2? Yeah, that's exactly what we don't want. So, Ranger's Guile. Let's fight the Archangel of Thune. Ooh, it does have lifelink, though. So when it fights, they'll still get 1, but this is better than getting more than 1. They can crack this and get themselves up to 7 planes. That's a thing, too. I don't know that we're solving a ton right here. Yeah, Heliod is such a good card. Talking about the life gain boost. Because you can combo with it, but it's... Oh, well, Teferi's Protection means that we don't have to deal with them this turn, but we will need to figure out some things for next turn. So at least this takes away the attack. Our life total will stay where it is, which I can appreciate. Could have chained the Rishkars into the other card draw, drawn 16, and held up the tower. Yeah, I know, but people get nervous when you draw too many cards. So like, I knew we drew a good amount right there, but I wanted to like also make some other plays. I put a really high value on getting lands into play, so and also getting the Croson Grip off of our guy was important as well. Definitely other things we could have done. But if you have like 30 cards in your hand, everyone's just going to attack you a lot, right? It's less threatening than like we have 10 cards in hand, which is still scary and probably a reason that we should be attacked, but we'll probably play it this turn unless better things come up. Sword of Kaldra on the stack. I'm going to cycle this Thicket while we're right here before I forget. 2 pieces of Kaldra. Question is, how do we defend ourselves against the flying and the lifelink? It is a serious question. Whip Tongue Hydra still in this deck, although that's an ETB thing. Uvenwald Hydra can give us a big blocker. That could be good. We get a Tectonic Edge. Yep, finding the pocket of lands right here, you'll notice all these lands. Hornet Queen? Yeah, not in this deck, sadly. Not a Hydra. That's a card that's also got me a lot of times over the years. I play Flyers. They don't match up against well against 1/1 Insect Death Touchers. Do I like the new God for Weapons of War? Yeah, it's really cool. I think of it, I'm looking at it, I like the equipment side of the new God more, but it's kind of, it gives me a feeling of like, it's Jack of all trades, master of none. In the sense of like, it's not the best source of double strike, it's not the best source of any of the things that it's doing, but it's all that stuff stapled into one card, so it's really flexible. Use the Sylvan Library, we need something other than lands. Rogue's Passage is a solid card. Let's keep this one. No, I want to put this one back on top. Put on top a library. Man, I really don't want to pay that life. I guess we're keeping both of these. Going to lose a little more life. What's this one get us? That one just gets big. Maybe, no, you know what? We put it back on top because we're just going to draw it anyway. So put back on top. Get the, we'll hold off on the Rogue's Passage. Play Return to Wildspeaker. Draw cards. All right, what do we get right here? Anything that stops flyers. Wave of Vitriol is a real magic card. Traverse the Outlands, also a real magic card. Hero's Bane. Mana Gorger Hydra. Beast Whisperer. Found the ramp, finally. Unfortunate now that our life total is bleeding. What do we need to leave up? Anything with instant speed? Would love to get this Traverse going, but ooh, that's so much mana right now. We just need stuff. Yeah, get the Mana Gorger high. That's only 1 mana, so start with that. Oh, we're going to draw more cards as we do this? Perfect. Try to find our way into more answers. Oh, Beast Whisper? Yeah, I guess we could have got that first. Whoops. Although, as much as I like Beast Whisper... Oh, God, another land. 3 mana. That will tap out more land than I would like. But yeah, we should probably do it. Tap the Great Henge, gain some life back. Start pumping up the Mana Gorger Hydra. Great Henge. Ooh, Greater Good is a magic card. That is a real magic card. Still need blockers. Let's get the Hero's Bane. Draw 2 cards. This deck needs a fog. If we had a constant mists, would not be worried about the white deck right now. More lands. Draw more cards. Lifeblood Hydra. Ooh. Can we get Lifeblood with Greater Good? Because that's life gain. Probably not. We have enough things on the ground, though. Yeah, our ground is kind of safe right now. Play Rogue's Passage. Oh, there's a Mana Vault. Mana Vault is more mana. Excellent. Play the Mana Vault. Getting low on green mana. Nature's Lore is mana neutral, so let's play that. You know, honestly, I'm thinking about the Traverse the Outlands just to get the lands out of our deck. Because if we untap with that amount of ramp, good things are going to happen. I don't know. Maybe we can limp along another turn, though. Yeah, let's just do it. Traverse the Outlands. Hope this doesn't cost us. You know what, though? More creatures get us more card draw? That seems too good to pass on. Yeah, we'll get Lifeblood Hydra. Oh, why didn't this work? Oh, I need to pay 3 green, right? That uses all the green. How do I feel about that? Not great. I don't feel great about that. Yeah, I'll do it, though. Draw more cards. Soul's Majesty. We are probably the target now. Great Henge. Garrick's Uprising. We're up to 20 life. Hungering Hydra, but we're out of lands. Go to combat. We'll swing into Sean. Send a poke over that way. We need to untap. We're at 20. 20's okay, but a lot of life gain could happen with this Archangel. And these things get really big really quick, so gotta be careful. Pass like that. Yeah, next turn we'll go for the Greater Good, and then we can sack this thing and do all that stuff. We just gotta be careful and try to manage things when we can. Doesn't seem like we have any instant speed stuff up. Probably want 1 or 2 more instant speed effects in this deck if we can. Draws with Endless Atlas. I don't have that many basics left. Oh, that's a good thing to think about. How many basics are in the deck? Mask of Memory coming in for opponent. Let's see, there's 36 lands. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. That means 25 basics in the deck. There's 9 of them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 20 of them. There are only 5 basics in the deck. Good thinking. Good thinking. Yeah, I kind of wish we did that before all the card draw. If you can work that out, that means you're drawing all gas. Abundance is a cool card, too. Send an attack over to Professor. Yep. Won't kill him, but it'll hurt a bit. Gets the mask trigger. Yep. I think there's lifelink on this probably. No. Indestructible. Lifelink on that. Yep. Oh, might kill him if there's double strike. Doc says in before there's a hoof. Yep. We've had the hoof, just needed to set up for it. Now we're set up for it. Can we keep this stuff back to our turn? That is the question. Does it give everything haste? Creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. No, it just gives them trample. Marble Diamond. Not too worried about that. Interestingly, everyone else fell behind on their lands this game. It's turn 9. We see, what, 5 lands right here. What's this? This is 5, 6 lands. And 3, 4, 5. 5 lands right there. Everyone fell behind in lands this game. Worth noting. Worth noting. And I mean, that's one of Green's strengths is like either ramping, but also just not falling behind on lands. Staying even with the turn count, basically. We are 2 ahead of the turn count land-wise. Plus a bunch of mana rocks. Archangel Heliod, yep. The fact that Hoof itself has haste is also like, I don't love it. I don't love it. How big is my hand? 19 cards. We have 19 cards in hand. Pretty big. Reliquary Tower. Helping us out. Need that Hurricane or Windstorm? Yeah. Hurricane's a fun card. Here comes the Archangel Athune. If that's the only thing they send, it's like not the end of the world. We are still low on life, but... here it comes. I am excited to be the mono white player in the game and really try to get some good green players in here. Like I've said, I've mentioned a few times already, like this green deck, fairly mediocre representation of what green can do. It could certainly be tuned up much more than it is, and my piloting's also been questionable. But yeah, I'm excited to, you know what? I like being the underdog, and I will feel like the underdog is the mono white player. One of the ones I am excited for is Heliod. Basically just like Heliod, Hate Bears, and Walking Ballista is probably where I'm going, and I'll probably try to build in a couple value engines. You'll see things like Burnished Heart and Amaria Shepherd from me if I can sneak them in. But yeah, I love what Heliod can bring to the table in terms of just like slam a bunch of Hate Bears and then make them huge and kill your opponents while they can't cast spells. Need some reach or flying equipments. Yeah, that wouldn't be the worst idea. There's also green creatures too that take care of the job. I just don't have them in the deck, so it's a matter of just balancing everything out, making sure you have enough of everything you want, and having answers to different situations. Flyers are a common problem from green. Now, green keeps getting really good reach creatures. Multani is a really big problem for flyers, but yeah, so just a matter of like figuring out how you want to solve those problems in the deck. Nice! Cauldra is assembled! It has been assembled. And they got a Shadow Spear incoming, so they can get themselves some lifelink. Let's see where they want to send it. I have to imagine that we're on their radar. Does this have vigilance? Does not have vigilance. First strike, haste, trample is what the helm gives it. And now lifelink, and yeah. It's a 10-10. Still smaller than our Mana Gorger Hydra, so but it will exile it if they want it. Yep, here it comes. All right. I don't want to just take 10. That's not a thing that I want to do. We can put the Mana Gorger Hydra in front, but it will die to, well, get exiled to the Sword of Kaldra ability. But maybe that's just what we're doing. Probably should have took them out last turn. Yeah, I guess that's what's happening. So, block with the Hydra. It's really expensive, but when you can get Kaldra online, it's actually pretty good. It's not game-winning good necessarily, but like you have one really hard-to-kill creature that's big and has a lot of nasty abilities on it. For example, Exile is your thing. Suddenly Greater Good seems even better, yeah. Yes, it does. Although we do have to make sure we have enough mana to cast Crater Hoof. I'll probably Hoof first and then Greater Good. Maybe that's yeah, I think that makes sense because we don't really want to sack our stuff beforehand so much. Inspiring Call, cool card. Sylvan Library. We look at a Seasons Pass and a Prey Upon. Don't think we need the Inspiring Call at this exact second. We'll put it on top. Seasons Past is cool. What does that do for us? It's 6 mana. I think we're just on Hoof this turn, though. So yeah, we'll put that back on top as well. So right now there's only 4 creatures in play. I think we want to get more creatures in play is where we want to be. This one's cheap. We'll get that one. X5 for a single green? Yes, please. Following a Soul's Majesty Greater Good, sack the Mana Gorger will draw 29, leaving 7, leaving 13. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. I also don't want to, like, draw from an empty library. I don't know that this deck is, like, set up in a way to completely take advantage of that. I don't have Concordant Crossroads in here, so that's kind of an issue. I think the creature count did get a little bit too low. There's a Voracious Hydra. Excellent. Let's get that one for double green. And then we probably look at the Hoof. All the stuff triggers. Fights a creature we don't control. Do we care that much? Yeah, I think we can actually, if we don't survive, getting rid of the Burnish Heart is actually going to be a really good idea. Oh, they gain a life, their stuff gets bigger. Eee. Maybe we should Prey Upon? Maybe we should Prey Upon. Oh god, it's a 9/10. Maybe we missed our chance to pray. We can Hoof first, then Prey Upon. I guess they need to survive, though. Also a thing that needs to happen. There's Oracle of Moldiah. Haven't played a land yet. How much mana do we have left? That's 6, 7 off that essentially. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, we still have a bunch of mana. Let's get Oracle of Moldiah. Use the Great Henge. Oh, there's Monstrous Onslaught. We lost our big guy though. Lost the big guy. Somberwald Sage on top. Nylea gives everyone trample. Hoof will give everyone trample anyway. So we've got 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4 mana left. Probably enough for the greater good after that. That seems... Do we want one more creature? It seems fine. I think that's fine for now. Get our lands. Play Hoof. Beast Whisper. So this is more what I was expecting the other games to go like, and we just didn't get off to the starts that we needed to really allow this to happen. But here we are. It's Hoof time. Great Henge, Garruk's Uprising, Crater Hoof Behemoth. Drawing more stuff. 38 cards in library. There's a Beast Within. Wild Growth on top. 0 land plays remaining. Go to combat. I guess we just send Gargos over to Professor, take him out. Oh, I should have cast the other thing first. Well, is what it is. Ooh, pro green. Gross. I think it's got to be a hard attack this way. They can block some of it. I don't know if they can block all of it. Maybe we should have played more creatures first. Oops. Attacks coming into opponents. Still can fight and destroy a creature. Yeah, I know. I'm leaving it up to see. I'm just going to check the math on everything. Pro green on that one. Going to soak up some damage. I mean, I don't think that's going to be anywhere near lethal on him. So they'll get a good crackback, I think. Probably going to kill our Hoof. You know, that's okay. I'm actually okay eating some of their stuff. Although, might want to fight the Archangel first. Declare a blocker's effects. What's getting through? So that's going to trample over for 3. That's going to be 13. That's 16. Plus this is 27. Yeah, they're going to survive. So there's that. What do we have? We have a Blossoming Defense. We could just Beast Within. Yeah, we'll go for the Beast Within. The Blossoming Defense is really nice protection. Shoot the Archangel of Thune, doing a little bit too much work. It's probably also a world where we could have like pumped up Gargos and then use a Rogue's Passage to finish it up. Daxos triggers. But Archangel finally gone. They get a Beast. Oh, you know what we could do? We could just like Monstrous Onslaught right here. Although this is still going to clean up a lot of stuff. We'll see what's actually left. Yeah, they gain a life. Something gets bigger. That's a 7/7 with double strike pro green? Huh. That's like nearly lethal on us. We need an artifact or something. Anything else that like doubles damage? Doesn't look like it. Professor goes down. Daxos triggers twice. Ooh. Ooh. Do we just die to that thing? I think we do. Crap. That's not good. Mark that one down as a mistake. What's in our deck that solves that problem? Start with a greater good and try to find out. We need artifact-based answers in the deck. Does not appear that we have like a Solemn Simulacrum would be incredibly helpful. Ooh. Ooh. I may have punted again. Huh. Well then. How do we get out of this? That's currently 18 damage. That is more than we have. Crap. Yeah, I should have just sent everything their way. Whoops. More punts. More punts or use the Rogue's Passage. Sky Shroud claim, I guess. Get 2 forests. Can we gain more life somehow? Oh, we can sack the Hydra. Yeah, that's what we can do. Can we replay the Hydra if we sack the Hydra? Okay. Good thinking. Good thinking. Greater good. Yeah, now we're talking. All right. Sacrifice the Lifeblood Hydra. Haha. Gain a bunch of life. We're up to 31. All right. Feeling good. Discard 3 cards. Land, land, land. Mana Crypt. Thought Vessel. Could Rancor and fight something. Down to 8 cards in library. Gotta careful with that. Why can't we maybe I'll leave up Blossoming Defense. Yeah, we'll leave up Blossoming Defense. Pass like that. Whew, what a turn. Almost missed that. Whew, thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. Thank God for that Lifeblood Hydra. It's going to be really bad for the stats if I just keep punting in every single game that I play with green. Oh my god. I am apparently not a very good mono green player, as it turns out. When do I get to play the hate bears? I want to play the white deck. Blind Obedience, that's a good one. We do need to kill them. Oh god. Is this a May? That is not a May. May need to get rid of that. Is this a May? That is also not a May. Playing more creatures, not necessarily a good thing for us. Only 8 cards left in our library. Gotta be really careful. $45 cards in hand, though. This one can come in really big and probably get the damage we need, although... What else do we have? Mask of Memory. Monstrous Onslaught can clear out blockers. Is helpful. Gonna send that over to the white player. Yep, trying to draw some cards. Oh yeah, there should be a Triumph of the Horde somewhere. Where is that? Did anyone see it? There it is. Triumph of the Hordes. That should carry us to victory. Don't forget about Blind Obedience. Check. Blind Obedience. Check. And I guess, like, here's the problem with green is that, all right, take a mental snapshot of this board state. It's turn 10. We have 45 cards in hand. We have, like, probably half the lands in our deck into play. And opponents are on, like, 7 lands, 6 or 7 lands roughly each, right? We're in a position to, like, play our entire deck, and they just aren't. And sure, this didn't happen, like, super quickly. This wasn't, like, a turn 4 kill or anything, but I think this is part of the problem, too, is that, like, we played a couple key cards, and it got us super far ahead. We dropped a Great Henge. We drew a bunch with Rish cards. We drew... a Chroma's Memorial. That's not great. Huh. Careful with this. It's not good. Here comes that. Is he sending all of them? That's got protection from like 4 colors. No, he's not sending all of them. I think we can get out of it with the Blossoming Defense. No, we can't, because this thing's indestructible. So that'll be 18. Plus 11 is 29. Are we going to survive it too? We need to fight the beast. Yeah, we need to fight the beast to survive. And then we need to not die to Mana Crypt. All right. All right. Where's that card? We have a card for this. There it is. Blossoming Defense. Choosing Gargos. Oh, does Daxos just kill us, though? Daxos might just kill us. Fight the beast. Turns out indestructible is a really good keyword. So is protection from green. Do we have artifact removal? Artifact removal would have been better right there. I think we used it already. See how this pans out. That's gonna be 20. They're gonna have Xaxes on us. Oh god. Wow. Yeah, we needed to kill Daxos way earlier in this game. It did a whole lot. It did a whole lot. Three losses. More punts. More punts. Maybe I just shouldn't play green. Maybe that's the problem here. Maybe I am not a good representative of the green part of the color pie. What do you guys think? No more green for me? Can't wait to play a white deck. God. Yeah, he gets my vote for that. That was nice plays on his part. Huh. Well then. Yeah, there's just so many things we could have done to not have that happen. Like, the number of things we could have done is just huge, but part of the problem with having so many cards in hand is just, like, making the correct call, but yeah. Oh, Winds of Abandon. Yeah, there's the Exile we so badly needed all game, but... I wanted to hold off on sacking the Hydra, but the Hydra was twice as big because of the Greater Hoof Behemoth, so I wanted to get all that extra life. GG Bar. Thanks for stopping by. Wonder Woman was pretty good, by the way. I enjoyed it. Can I explain why green is so much card draw? I cannot. I get why they ramp. Ramp is the green thing. Sure, you want to give green all the ramp cards? Great. Why do they also have all the card draw? That I cannot explain. Once upon a time, that was the blue thing. I am convinced that green draws way better than blue does these days, and generally way better than black, other than, like, Necropotence. It's not just the good enchantments, it's also the draw equal to power. Draw equal to power is really busted. Because we did that, what, 2 or 3 times this game? But yeah, in the small creature decks, like the decks that play around like 35 or 40 creatures, all of the draw per creature stuff is pretty good. New Acroma does trigger for each combat. So if you have Aurelia, it's really good. Aurelia has 9 power on the second combat. It's a good time. Green has absorbed every part of the color pie outside of lifelink. Actually, Ari had a post about that on Twitter today. The other things it doesn't have are, like, discard, quote-unquote looting, but, like, Greater Good will do all the looting you need it to. There's a few other things. Bouncing. What else? I'm going from memory right here. I could go look it up, but I'm too lazy. There are a few mechanics that green does not have in any capacity, but when you can just make all the mana and draw all the cards, it doesn't matter that much. Why don't I rearrange my hand when I'm playing? Because I usually don't have that many cards in hand. When you have 45 cards in hand, it's just, I don't know if it helps. Just don't know if it helps that much. Zatalpa is also really good with the new Acroma. Green as removal. See Desert Twister. Yeah, I used to run Desert Twister back in the day. Its removal has gotten a lot better since then, though. With Swiftfoot Boots, it's 22 damage. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Hell yeah, coming back to play. Yep. And so, like, I know that there are ways to play around the things that we just did. Like, 1, play better. And 2, put more cards in the deck that, like, account for those problems. Constant Mists solves all of our troubles. So that's a place that, like, I need to get to with my green deck building. Because, like, a lot of times when I play green on camera, I just steamroll everyone. And then, that never forces me to have to, like, make more adjustments to get better. So because of that, I just, like, I'll kind of skimp on some of the things that I really need. So, next time around, can be more prepared. get ourselves a constant miss, get some more like utility type things, protection type things, and allow us to play safer, not just get steamrolled by Akroma's Vengeance. Akroma's Memorial, sorry. There's an Elesh Norn into play, and now Sean kind of got the upper hand here, and actually looks like he's swinging for lethal. I don't know how he snuck that one out, but good on him. I'll tell you what, though, big part of this game, a lot of players not making their land drops. Got to make those land drops. We nearly won as a result of it, but... -9, there it is. Sean taking it down. Shows quite a spicy hand right there. Sweet. So I want to thank you guys for joining. There will be more of these games in the future. Probably going to have a webcam paper game at some point as well. And I'm going to put together like a little spreadsheet and just kind of keep track of some of the stats from these games. My mistakes will definitely impact those stats quite a bit, but what can you do? So, but yeah, thank you guys for joining. Be sure to check me out on Twitter if you want, twitter.com/CommanderReplay. Check out my Patreon if you're interested in supporting, patreon.com/CommanderReplay. And until next time, thank you guys for watching.